Hi all you beautiful people. Today we're going to make something really exciting. I'm going to make a cheesecake, which I have done once in my life before. And so, yeah, I thought I'd share it with you. This is almost all raw, because it's my raw. It's raw sour cream from our cow. It is raw Greek yogurt, which is like it's drained Greek yogurt. I'm just letting it drain off a bit more. It's supposed to be what we call Philadelphia cheese, which is very firm. So I'm going to have to change the recipe a little bit. But I thought I'd love to use my own things. It's all full of all these, it's all non-heated and full of all these good bacteria. And this is actually bought cream. We're going to whip. And it's all raw, so we're going to have in the bottom, this is keto, this is high fat, high protein keto meal or cake. So we're going to use nuts in the bottom, and I really love, it's supposed to be walnuts and almonds, but or walnuts or almonds and macadamia nuts, but as with everything, I'm going to do it my way. So let's just see. We're going to weigh out these nuts. So let's see how many of these pecan nuts. That's the ones I want to use. Pecan nuts, because I think they are so delicious, and it's a good idea to just taste the nuts, because sometimes nuts just taste really bad. We want 200 grams of nuts. So I used those and almonds. We want 100 grams, actually 150 grams of butter. That's quite a lot. Let's see how much is here. Yeah. Just looks like a real lot. But anyway, that's what we're supposed to eat, fat. Down goes the butter. And what I love, we can make it a little bit sweet by putting a tiny bit of stevia in there. We don't want it too sweet. So just a tiny bit of stevia. This is erythritol and stevia mixed. And what I love is a little bit of nutmeg. Not too much, just like that. I think is enough. And also a bit of cinnamon, maybe a teaspoon or something like that. So before we're going to blend these, we're going to make our cream. So I'll just whip our cream, and I'll give you the recipe in a link below. So I've whipped the cream, and I'm just getting all the things ready. So we want 300 grams of, this could be Greek yogurt, it could be the firm cheese. This is just strained full fat or very, very, very fatty yogurt. And it's quite firm. I just whipped it a little bit, because that does make it more firm. And I'm sort of just saving the washing by doing the milk products first in this thing, because I'm using this machine. Because I'm going to use this to make the crust in a second. So here's 300 grams of this, full fat cheesy thing, and so let's just make some noise here. So I've done all the milk products that needed to be, well, I needed to use this machine. I've got this knife in here. I used a different one for the cream and the cheese. So I'm going to do the crust now. Just blend it together. So easy using this machine. Now I've just added 100 grams more of almonds because it just seemed too much butter. I mean, that was just too much. And we're going to add a little bit of salt, just maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, and some vanilla essence, just a teaspoon I think. Let's see if this is better. So here we have the crust. It's looking good, I reckon. So that turned out to be 120 grams of almonds, 180 grams of pecan nuts, 150 grams of butter. It was actually salted butter. A teaspoon of cinnamon, and a little bit of vanilla essence, and a little bit of the other one I used, nutmeg. And I mean, if you have too much of this, you can just make some fat bombs, just make some little balls. But we'll just see if this fits well. I've just got wet hands here. It's going to go into the fridge to make it really firm. So I actually changed the recipe because that cream cheese was actually not good. It just had a not nice taste to it. So I'm going to use some cottage cheese instead that I have in the freezer. So I'm just going to put that in the fridge now. So yeah, it's a bit of a job making a cheesecake, but it's fun. It's fun to try something that you don't do very often, I think. So let's just make this lemon peel. I always use this one here. It's easier. A little bit more. The lemon peel apparently is much more healthy than the actual juice. There's many more healing agents in the peel. And I love the taste of lemon peel. This is an organic lemon. You can get them it's really everywhere more or less you can get organic lemons. It's so good. And we want the juice from the whole lemon. This is a small lemon, so we don't want too much. You can always just taste it as you go, as you mix it in, because you don't want any too strong tasting things in there. You have to get the taste right. Yeah. Okay, so everything went a little bit cuckoo. So I'm just going to see how much I can share of this. But that cottage cheese, I whipped that and that got actually very runny. So I'm going to add some more gelatin to this. But I whipped the sour cream. The sour cream, it's 2 deciliters of sour cream. And this was 300 grams of cheese. So this sour cream is nice and firm. Okay, so we're going to have some, we're going to stir this together. I think we'll put the vanilla in now. We'll use real vanilla, which is so delicious. It's the best. I do not do this very often anymore. I'm out of practice. Completely out of practice. We can use it, dry this and blend it or something, use it for all sorts of other things. Now we're going to, I've got the gelatin, we use these plates or these sort of pieces, and they're all been in water for 5 minutes. There's 5 of them, no 6 I think. And we're going to heat this lemon juice with them, or put them into the heated lemon juice you're supposed to do. I'm just going to do it the easy way, just heat it very carefully so they melt. Okay, that looks good, all melted. Now we'll have a little bit of stevia. A little bit of stevia in there, not too much. Maybe like that, no more than that. Stir this all together. Put the lemon peel in there. Just yeah. Pour this in carefully. Oh God, being a professional is really wonderful. I think you're actually supposed to whip this in so it doesn't get lumpy. That's what's happening now. Has to be more sweet. So that was two teaspoons. We can put the rest of the lemon in there, I think. Wow. Want to taste. Okay, so lastly comes the cream. Isn't this amazing that you can lose weight from eating stuff like this? It's just so strange. Okay, I'll just go and get the crust. Okay, so let's see. I could have made this earlier, but it's okay. So just made it cool more, but it's going to go into the fridge again now. Because it's best to make this the day before. And tomorrow we're going to put the berries on. Looking good. Looking really, really good. Push it right out to the sides there. Okay, and I think I'll just use the same sheet I had on before, just the other side. I think that's okay. We don't want little nut pieces on there. So tomorrow we're going to put blueberry gelatin jelly on it. Just wipe this off a bit. It's a little work of art, a cake like this, isn't it? Well, really everything we do. And it's fun to create. Yeah, it's fun. Okay, into the fridge it goes. Into the fridge it goes. Okay, so here we have our blueberries, and it's 225 grams of blueberries, organic, which is very lovely. And we're going to add some water and some gelatin. And so, let's see how much water we need. Maybe 4 deciliters, I think. So we're gonna. Oh, this is 3. Wait, what is it? Yeah, 3. 3 deciliters. Oh, maybe a little bit more. I think 4 is good. So we're just going to heat it up because we want the gelatin to be melted in there. So on this gelatin bag it says about 5 of these for half a litre of fluid. So we're going to put 5 into some cold water. Okay, so here we have the hot blueberries with the water. I've put about a big teaspoon of stevia in and a whole lemon, a small lemon, the juice of a small lemon. And we're going to add these gelatin. I can just have a look how many grams each of these gelatin leaves are, or what do you call them, plates. You're sort of supposed to get as much of the water out as possible. So put these in here so they melt into this. And now we're going to cool this down. Oh, there's one more there. We're going to cool this down. Here we've got the cake. It's been in the fridge for a few hours. And so it's gonna this is just later in the day from when I made it, and so it's gonna be ready for tomorrow. It's good to have it all done. So I'm gonna have a little birthday here tomorrow, so it's nice to not have too many things to do. So that's looking good. So I'm going to put strawberries into the jelly. So I thought I haven't tried this before, but let's give this a go. Beautiful strawberries. So I thought I just cut them in half like this and then put them into the jelly like that. See if I can do that. Beautiful summer day today. can't remember how many carbs are in a strawberry, but berries altogether are good for when you're going low carb, because there are not many carbs in berries. And yeah, you can't eat many anyway, so, or you can if you want to, but you don't need many to have a very lovely little dish. It might be enough. One more. We have to have it cool down quite a bit before we can put it onto the cake. So I'll just cool this down properly. Okay, so this is really lukewarm. I hope this is enough. I hope, yeah. Let's just trust this is enough. Or I might just leave some of the fluid out, because it just seems like, because some of the fluid comes from the berries. So I'm going to leave that out, because it's just a pity if it doesn't go firm. So here we have the jelly mixture. And so my thought was to put these into here, if I can. See if I can do it this way, maybe. Wait. Isn't it just amazing how this comes out of the earth? All these colours come out of the soil. It's just really hard to believe. So you sort of have to put them down carefully so they sort of float, because it's nice to see the surface there. And maybe one more, just like that. Oh, this is exciting. One more. Okay, into the fridge it goes, and we'll say our prayers. Hopefully it's going to be nice and firm. So we'll get back to it tomorrow. So this is a little extra video because this was really quite a challenge, and this topping I made, this was much too runny, so I should have had much more gelatin in there. So really, as it said on the packet, if you have half a litre of fluid, you need about 9 of those sheets of gelatin. And as I could see, because the berries, they sort of contract and the fluid comes out, so I think there was much more than 4 decilitres. There was maybe 6 or 7 decilitres of fluid. So I should have had many more of those gelatin sheets. So it was quite a catastrophe, because it was running all over the place, and I had to make all that fluid run off and quickly make a small batch of gelatin with some of the leftover blueberry water, and I quickly poured it on and said my prayers again, put it into the fridge, and the next day it actually turned out fine. So let's have a look at how it turned out. So this cake was altered, as I said in the beginning, because the first cheese I had, it just was not tasty. There was a bit of a bad taste in it, so I used cottage cheese instead. So yeah, it's a bit hard to exactly follow this, but I'll put a recipe below that I think will work really well. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. So let's just have a look at the results. So here is the result, and we have eaten most of it, but I'll just show you what it looks like, and I'll explain to you how I made that topping. But it actually, I was very surprised, it worked out really well. So we'll just yeah, cut like this. There you go. So here we have it, the cheesecake. I'm very proud, and it is totally tasty. It's got blueberries and strawberries on it. So that was my first attempt for many, many years in making a raw cheesecake. See you, my friend!